10. That's Haley Steinfeld and Alessio this morning here at Sydney's Kiss FM. Milo's landed in Australia, won a big kerfuffle. A lot of media organisations he was booked to go on. Chickened out at the last minute and cancelled his appearance, but not us. We stick to our word.
There he is
not
in
you.
studio.
And to be honest,
Milo.
you're the only one I wanted to do. Because I had so much fun last time.
We did have fun last time you were on. Why do you think they've cancelled you?
Well, unlike you, very, very nice common sense of humour, you know, like normal conversation. A lot of the TV hosts just want to get you. They want to get that gotcha moment because for them it's like a feather in their cap. If they manage to make a conservative look like an idiot, they get lots of plaudits and you know all their producers are happy.
And they replay it every. It's like when the weatherman gets attacked by a seagull or something.
Exactly, they'll replay it for years.
Yeah. But you're not an easy man to get.
No, and I think they've seen me in action a few times. They're like, oh no, what do we do? He's not a redneck, and he's not some fulminating Fox News exploding head. How do we beat this guy? He's clever and funny and handsome and popular and modest.
We haven't got time to go over all the great things.
But what do we do? What do we do? How do we argue against this guy? Because he's obviously read books, unlike most of our guests and most of our producers. So what do we do? It's very disappointing.
So they just cancel you outright.
Having booked me on, you know.
Are you aware of who the people are on these shows? So Waleed is a very intelligent man, but he would go against you. Yeah.
I was strapped to a chair and forced to watch the project. You know, sort of vomiting into my face mask.
It's far too left for your liking.
No, it's not too left. It's too cowardly.
Right.
He doesn't do interviews with anyone who disagrees with him live. They're all pre-packaged and edited. Why doesn't he go on live television and have debates with people? Why doesn't he find people? I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I don't find him intelligent, and I find him extraordinarily cowardly. If he really wants, if he believes in what he says, if he thinks he has the facts on his side, if he's the nimble, elegant, eloquent person he clearly thinks he is, surely it should be easy in 3 minutes of live television to show me up, this trollish, clownish, British gay guy. Couldn't he embarrass me? Couldn't he wipe the floor with me in 2 or 3 minutes of live television? I mean, that would be a feather in his cap.
When you were going to go on there, was it going to be pre-recorded or live?
I think they were going to do a segment. I think I probably agreed to pre-record because it's the only thing they do there because they're too cowardly to have conservatives on live. And then they pushed it off and then they cancelled. Another show on the same network, pushed it off and then cancelled. Another network, pushed it off, cancelled. The guy that you have, what's his name? Kurt Stefanovic, whatever.
Carl Stefanovic.
Stefanovic.
He sounds very good.
I try to stay with the only journalists I know over here are you two.
So hang on, Carl's a friend of mine, but I agree. He's a newsman at heart on the Today Show. Yeah. Why do you think they cancelled?
Well, they said to me, we don't want to do it until Carl does it. And then mysteriously, as I'm getting on the plane, my publicist says, "Oh, Carl's pulled out. He's so abruptly on holiday next week." I'm like, "Oh, really? Is he now?"
Right.
It's. I mean, if he's your friend, you should ask him. You should give him a call.
No, well, something
give
happened
him a
the other.
call.
No,
I'll come and I'll do any time, anywhere, any format, any rules.
I think he is not on the show this week, though. I think that's right.
Yeah, because you text.
I texted him yesterday about something else.
Well, when did they know he was going to be on holiday? They booked me for this week. Did he just sort of say, I mean, people don't just say, oh, I'll be on holiday for 2 weeks as of 2 days' time. They plan these things.
Well, why can't the fill-in do the interview?
Exactly. Well, I think they probably put him on as the only person who could stand their ground with me.
Right.
And then if he's on abruptly, mysteriously on holiday for whatever reason.
You've flown in yesterday or whatever, and first thing you said was, Jackie took offence to it. What was it?
Yes.
The Opera House.
What did you say about the Opera House?
Oh, I said it
disagree.
was a monstrous carbuncle masquerading as an architectural masterpiece.
It is a masterpiece,
Oh,
Milo.
it's so ugly. It
It's
looks like
not.
a pile of dishes from one
It
end,
doesn't.
and
It's
just
like
a bunch of triangles from the other angle. Honestly, you know how beautiful Sydney is?
Yes.
How gorgeous the harbour is?
We're very proud.
The dappling of light on the water,
Yeah.
the gorgeous buildings, beautiful sunsets, and then that thing.
But what?
That
how
thing.
can you say that?
That monstrous erection thrust out from the earth. It's so ugly.
Far from it. It's not ugly.
So ugly.
It's like it. Don't you think? I mean, how? Because it was in the 1950s. It's very forward thinking for architecturally speaking.
No.
It's like a sailing boat on the harbour.
Australia is such a beautiful country, and it really is, and everything. I mean, the light is gorgeous. Everybody looks beautiful here because of the lovely light and all the rest of it. There's just this wonderful, gorgeous, beautiful city, and then that odious, hideous. Just architectural eructation, just plonk.
Is it the
and
80s?
It's not even
is it the
situated
80s?
as plonk.
Is it the 80s tint on it that you don't like, or is it the tile work?
The shape is horrible. It just everything about it is really, really unattractive.
We've got it just over your shoulder
fit.
there. Look at it on the screen, just behind you.
Yeah.
What do you think
Look
of it
how
there?
beautiful it is.
It's so ugly. It's got this beautiful, elegant bridge. It's ugly. It's ugly.
Well, what do you think is beautiful? What monument? Because what do you have in America, for instance?
Trump Tower in New York.
Oh, but
I'll
really?
I'll stay there. It's very nice.
It's all gold.
I'm
Carl
a
would love that.
neoclassical guy, so I love real, actual kind of lovely Corinthian columns, the Parthenon, blah blah blah. I love a lot of American higher education institutions. That there's big colleges with lots of money, have
Pillars and
beautiful
stuff like
marble
that.
Oh yeah,
columns
they're
and pillars
amazing,
and-
no doubt.
was-
But they're no opera house.
Jackie, even the people that work in the opera house say it's the shittest acoustics of any opera house in the world.
I don't
Look,
know about
I'm not
the
being
acoustics.
funny.
I
I'm a
can't
huge
comment.
Wagner fan, but just the thought of that building puts me off the music. Just the idea of it. I mean, I think I'm going to be in there for something.
Are you?
They didn't want. Well, they didn't want me. So one of the channels that interviewed me said we're not allowed to film inside the opera house because they don't agree with your politics. And I said I didn't realize opera houses had politics.
Me neither.
Evidently, their politics are as odious as their architecture.
By the way, if you want to see him while he's here on his tour, go to milolive.com.au. You can buy tickets.
What will we see at the show?
Well, it's going to be an extravaganza of free speech and mischief, jokes, fun. There's always lots of Q&As in my show, so I encourage people to come and challenge me.
So people stand up and ask. So
So throw awful, terrible, abusive, hateful
So
things
if
that
you're
I've
a
said about
hater-
people back at me
Yeah.
and ask me to justify them. I'm happy to do so.
So you've said bad things in the past about
everybody.
Let's say
Everyone.
Muslims. Let's say the
Everybody,
Muslims,
especially
right?
Muslims,
We've
yes.
got a lot of Muslims listen to this show.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you say? What did you say to piss everyone
Oh,
off?
I've lost count.
Oh,
I
so
think I
many
said
things.
yesterday. Well, yesterday I think I said that Muslims should be sent back to the Middle East. I think their
All Muslims.
belief system is totally incompatible with Western
What
civilization.
about the ones that came out here 30 years ago and then the children were born and they've never even lived there or been there?
I know this
Should
is
they go
I
home?
know this is an unpopular, horrible thing to say, but look, I live in Florida. I'm gay.
Yeah.
I live not far from where the Pulse nightclub shooting happened.
Right.
It is just a daily reality of living in any place with a once you get past a certain tipping point of that particular the culture that surrounds that belief system. It's like walking through London. I don't feel entirely safe walking through London anymore. I don't feel entirely safe anywhere in America anymore.
But do you think it is the Muslim faith, or do you think it's a couple of ratbags within that faith that have bastardised the thoughts and the process? And there's bad in every culture, because I hate I'm what am I? White, obviously, and I suppose I'm like Anglican. But there's some people in America, those ones that deaf to the homos and all those.
Yes.
Yeah, but
they're
not
horrible
they're
people.
not a
But
significant
they don't
force in
represent
culture.
me.
There's about 12 of them.
Yeah.
There are about 12 of them. And, we're supposed to say, because we're nice, decent people, and, look, I can be a mischievous son of a whatever, and I say mean things for a living. But basically, I'm a nice guy. And I don't want to be mean for the sake of being mean. I don't want anyone to be hurt. But look, we're supposed to say in the media, oh, it's not all Muslims. It's it's just a fringe of whatever. But it isn't a fringe. The intelligence services say hundreds of millions of Muslims are in support of jihad, in support of violent ends to achieve Sharia in the West. It's not a minority. It is mainstream Muslim culture in which I could be murdered for my sexuality. 11 countries, hundreds of millions of people live in those countries. It's
They'd
not,
throw
it's-
you off a roof,
it's
wouldn't
not-
they?
Yeah, but it's not just ISIS. It's not just being thrown off a roof. And everywhere you find Islam, you find the routine, systematic oppression of women and murder of homosexuals. And it is not just the fringe. It's not just Islamism. It's mainstream Muslim culture.
Isn't it also true, and I may be wrong, that a lot of Muslim men take a young boy lover at some stage in their life, and that's quite normal,
It's
but
very
no one
common.
talks about
It's very,
it.
well, so the U.S. Army in Afghanistan were told not to stop reporting the sounds of male children being raped by Afghan soldiers who at that time were working in tandem with the U.S. forces over there, because it would be culturally insensitive for them to object to it. This
Sort
stuff
of
is
a world are we living in where...
well, also the transgender reassignment capital of the world. Do you know where it is?
Where?
Tehran.
Are you kidding?
Because being a gay is illegal there, so the this is a family show, so I won't get too graphic, but the girl in the relationship, rather than suffer the death penalty for being gay, they go through transition surgery so they can be with their partner,
and that's allowed.
That's allowed.
Well, it's not just allowed; it's encouraged because it's apparently better to be a fake woman than it is to be a gay man. I mean, these are cultures that hate everything that I am and want to, and not that doesn't just mean gay, but also, someone who believes in capitalism, democracy, freedom of speech, all the rest of it. They are utterly and implacably opposed to these values, and it's all very well saying, oh well, I know a nice woman who's my doctor or a nice woman whatever, but you just Britain of all places sends more fighters to ISIS than any other country except Belgium, because what we tend to see. I'm sorry to say, is that this particular religious culture is the only one that does not integrate, and in fact, worse than that, it gets more ghettoized with successive generations. Muslims in Britain are more radicalized than their parents' generation, and for the simple reason that the establishment left, with this cultural relativism, political correctness, don't say anything mean to them, just let them get on with it, has allowed them to ghettoize and radicalize rather than forcing them to integrate, and it just terrifies me. I'm sorry, and I know that a lot of people are going to be very upset by such a bold and uncompromising stance, but I'm just scared.
You're right with the terror,
I'm
because
scared.
Me and my partner and our little posse went to London maybe a month or two ago. We landed, and the next day we woke up when all that terror on the bridge started. And none of the girls wanted to leave the hotel.
And the Muslim mayor of London says it's part and parcel of living in a big city. I'm sorry, but it isn't. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a cost of living, a cost of doing business, and a cost of existing in the West, where we suppose. Look,
what's the answer to it though?
I have a very simple answer that nobody likes very much, but it's just, if you self-identify as a Muslim, if you believe in the precepts of Islam, if you pray 5 times a day, all the rest of it, I think you should go live somewhere where, where that is the law of the land. I just think that belief system is fundamentally incompatible with our way of life in the West. Now, there are lots of people who call themselves Muslim who are more like cultural Muslims, right? Like in a way that's lots of people like culturally Christian. They sort of grow up nominally Christian, but they don't really go to church. They're
my friends. They're Muslim, but they love a bacon burger.
Okay. So I mean, those people are not really they're
non-practicing,
not in any real sense Muslims,
like
right?
me, I'm not a non-practicing Christian.
Okay, and these people are not likely to, either show up with something strapped to their chest one day on a bridge, or turn a blind eye to it. They're likely to see that this is horrifying, this is not Islam, whatever. But these people don't actually practice the religion, and where you find the religion practiced by large proportions of the population, you see the oppression of women, the murder of homosexuals, and support for jihad.
Do you walk around with security?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, a lot.
No shit.
All the time. Being gay in the West is, and being honest is apparently now a dangerous profession.
I'm confused about where you stand on gay marriage, because obviously
Me too.
You're gay. You are?
You're married to a man, right?
I am.
You're married to a beautiful black man.
He is a beautiful black man.
But are you against it or not?
Well, my position on it has evolved to the point where now I don't know what I think. I think you have to take it on a case-by-case basis. In America, where there is constitutional protection for freedom of religious conscience, so then I think it's okay. Yeah. And I think it's mean and unpleasant and cruel to stop gay people recognizing their love for one another if they want to dedicate their lives to
believe that as well.
Why on earth would you not let people do that? It seems mean and unnecessary. But in other countries where
two blokes want to go down on each other, we're good with that.
Sure. If two gay men, knowing how gay men usually behave, actually want to settle down and be monogamous and, pay taxes, get a house,
Hallelujah.
Yeah, why not? I mean, like that sounds like if you can't be, if you
unlike
can't,
our newsreader Brooklyn here, clearly he's gay. We keep him in another room. There
clearly,
he's been riddled with a lot of disease. He's had the gonorrhea. He's had the crabs. He's had it in everyone.
I've never had anything.
No, you're
I
probably
don't know
very
how
clever.
I don't have AIDS.
Careful.
What?
You're probably careful.
No. I don't know how I don't have something.
But Brooklyn, he's
very
honest.
Existence.
He's very honest, and we've had truck drivers ringing up here, rough Aussie blokes,
because he didn't call them back in the morning.
No, that have said we've changed their perception to homosexuality by just listening to us, and he is just a normal guy.
Yeah,
like,
I get a lot of that. I get a lot of that in the States, and I think maybe I kind of on the one hand I get a little bit sad that gay people's kind of reputation and role as bleeding-edge hellraisers and innovators and all the rest of it might be lost slightly when we start to get married and settle down. But by the same token, now I have love in my life. I do appreciate the benefits and value and the joy of a loving relationship.
Did you say don't hire gay people in the workplace?
I did.
Was that taken out of context?
No, it was not out of context.
Why did you? Did you say because they're lazy?
I have found them unreliable.
Unreliable.
I have found them unreliable. They don't. They're when I look at the people people I've employed in my life, which is, you know, well into three figures over my career, I can, you know, the people who didn't show up on time, who were lazy and messy, and you know, all the rest of it, and were doing drug binges at the weekend, and all this stuff, and then were useless all day on Monday.
Well, I can't argue that.
I'm just look, and I'm just speaking as a business owner. I'm just speaking as a business owner.
From your own personal
From my own
experience.
personal experience. I don't anticipate anybody else agreeing with this position. But my personal experience has been, if you've only got money to hire one person, probably go with the straight one, because at least he'll be functional on Monday.
Well, all my staff are gay, right?
Yeah.
All of my home staff are gay.
I do that, and your home staff, your estate staff.
I do, yeah.
Correct. How many estate staff?
Probably about 3 or 4. But then
3 or 4. Okay. Do you have a guy? Do you have someone iron your
we
socks?
have a houseboy
and then roll them over in the morning.
One of them's here with me when travels.
Do you
with
have
me.
turn down service like in a hotel?
No, I don't like that.
Oh. No, I mean I hate turn down.
I hate someone knocking on the door. Would you like a chocolate? No.
What the hell is turn down service?
I know.
They put that awful music back on the television, which the only thing I want to do when I get into a hotel is punch the screen to make the music stop. They come in, they put a chocolate, so they want you to be fat and lazy and annoyed.
Exactly.
Like,
And
what
they
is
want
the
a tip
purpose?
for it as well.
And they want to be paid. They want to
Not
be paid
on.
to irritate and bloat you. Honestly, turn down service is my least favorite thing in the
BS.
world. It is so stupid.
Will you
I
take
think
calls?
it's them spying on
Will
you.
you take calls? People are ringing up thick and fast. Do you want to talk to
No,
them?
I'd love to.
Anything
love
off
to.
limits? Or you're happy to take
No,
anyone's
no.
call?
Come for me.
Come for it.
Perfectly happy.
You want to talk to Milo Yiannopoulos live? Ring now, 131065. We'll take a short break, and we're back with your calls with him.
Coming up, you might have the crap day. But then we press play.
Play it.
Let Kiss music take you away. Keep Kiss loud.
While you work.
We play a million songs straight after Kyle and Jackie O.
Kiss 1065. Now at Target, make Christmas special with 20% off a huge range of toys. From Lego, Barbie, Nerf, Fisher-Price and many more big brands. At Target. Offer ends December 13. No rain checks, exclusions apply. See you in store.
Now is the perfect time to upgrade your mobile phone at Telstra with the incredible Samsung Galaxy S8. It features a stunning edge-to-edge display, perfect for streaming your favourite movies, and a low-light camera for taking fantastic photos. Get the Samsung Galaxy S8 and Tab A 8-inch bundle from Telstra with a 12-month Foxtel Now starter pack and 6 gigs of shareable data for just $99 per month for 24 months. Visit your local Telstra store for details. Min cost $2,376, all for use in Australia.
The Hyundai 4-day sale has been extended. This is your chance to drive away in the reinvented i30 hatch with 5-year, 75,000-kilometre free scheduled servicing and must-have features like Apple CarPlay and SatNav as standard. Plus, there's even more great deals across the entire range. Hurry! Sale must end Thursday, November 30. So rush into your local Hyundai dealer before you miss out.
That rooster's been crowing all morning.
It's been 7 hours.
Now it's always breakfast time because Pizza Hut have a new all-day breakfast pizza. Get bacon and eggs with barbecue sauce on a large pizza from 11 a.m. till late. This is Pizza Hut's all-day breakfast pizza. This is pizza. Available at participating stores.
Jingle bells, jingle bells. From music you're tired of hearing this Christmas to savings that are music to your ears, IGA has Moccona freeze-dried coffee 400-gram varieties just $14. Offer ends December 5. Excludes IGA Express. See website for details.
Xero's passionate about supporting all small business. That's why they're backing Lizette.
Yeah, Lizette successfully launched Treat Dreams despite having a full-time job. She started as a self-taught chocolatier, and the Treat Dreams team now makes dairy-free handmade chocolates and tarts to tantalise taste buds across Australia.
I get so excited when people that have a passion do well.
Yes.
You can meet Lizette and taste some of her delicious morsels at Cloud Street. Look out for the large glass box full of chocolate at Circular Quay. Oh, I hope
Sounds
they don't
good,
melt.
doesn't it?
Oh, how lummy does it sound?
It's open until December 4. Discover more at Xero, that's Xero.com.
That's not how you spell it.
No, but they spell it that way. So Cloud Street by Xero, backing small businesses. Good on you guys.
Kevin, what? Does your boss know you've got 20 tabs open searching for hotel deals during work hours? Kevin, Hotels Combined searches all the top travel sites to find the best price guaranteed. But go ahead, search all those other sites. When you're done with 20 tabs of confusion, Hotels Combined will be right here waiting for you. Hotels Combined, the best hotel deals guaranteed.
My name is Augie Pullman.
Wonder, an extraordinary story that will inspire us all.
They stare. Let them stare. You're the toughest kid in that school.
Starring Julia Roberts.
You really are a wonder, Augie.
Owen Wilson.
I know you don't always like it, but I love it. It's my son's face.
And Jacob Tremblay.
We all deserve a standing ovation, at least once in our lives.
Based on the acclaimed novel, Wonder, in cinemas now.
No energy price rises for 2 years, guaranteed. With Energy Australia, you can lock the energy prices you pay so they'll be the same for the next 2 years. Secure Saver gives you fixed energy usage rates and daily supply charges, plus 22% off electricity and 17% off gas usage rates when you pay on time. To find out more, call 1300 Energy or visit energyaustralia.com.au. New South Wales only, not available all areas. Conditions and exclusions apply. For example, green power. Energy price fact sheets available at energyaustralia.com.au/EPFS.
Hey You is here. No matter where I am, my favourite shows are never too far away.
Being able to download and watch all episodes is a plus.
When I'm out and about on my balcony, on my commute, nothing like some reality TV and a bit of sunshine.
So addicted, it's not even funny.
You just heard why reality fans love Hey You, the on-demand service with over 150 shows. Download the app to start your 30-day free trial. Hey You, reality on demand. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey!
At Flight Centre, book a holiday in December for your chance to win a $2,000 Flight Centre gift card. Conditions apply. LTPS 1720106. Call Flight Centre on 131 600.
Taylor Swift's Reputation out now.
Right now.
This is Kyle and Jackie O Show.
Back to the music in 10 seconds from now.
The music will be worth the wait.
But first,
it's Brooklyn 10. That's Haley Steinfeld and Alessio this morning. You're at Sydney's Kiss FM. Milo's landed in Australia, won a big kerfuffle. A lot of media organisations he was booked to go on chickened out at the last minute and cancelled his appearance, but not us. We stick to our word.
Here he is
Not
in
you.
studio.
And to be honest,
Milo.
you're the only one I wanted to do. Because I had so much fun last time.
We did have fun last time you were on. Why do you think they've cancelled you?
Well, unlike you, very, very nice common sense of humour, you know, like normal conversation. A lot of the TV hosts just want to get you. They want to get that gotcha moment because for them it's like a feather in their cap. If they manage to make a conservative look like an idiot, they get lots of plaudits and you know all their producers are happy.
And they replay it. It's like when the weatherman gets attacked by a seagull or something.
Exactly, they'll replay it for years.
Yeah. But you're not an easy man to get.
No, and I think they've seen me in action a few times. They're like, oh no, what do we do? He's not a redneck, and he's not some fulminating Fox News exploding head. How do we beat this guy? He's clever and funny and handsome and popular and modest.
I don't know. We haven't got time to go over all the great things.
But what do we do? What do we do? How do we argue against this guy? Because he's obviously read books, unlike most of our guests and most of our producers. So what do we do? It's very disappointing.
So they just cancel you outright.
Having booked me on, you know.
Are you aware of who the people are on these shows? So Waleed is a very intelligent man, but he would go against you.
I was strapped to a chair and forced to watch the project. You know, sort of vomiting into my face mask.
It's far too left for your liking.
No, it's not too left. It's too cowardly.
Right.
He doesn't do interviews with anyone who disagrees with him live. They're all pre-packaged and edited. Why doesn't he go on live television and have debates with people? Why doesn't he find people? I mean, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I don't find him intelligent, and I find him extraordinarily cowardly. If he really wants, if he believes in what he says, if he thinks he has the facts on his side, if he's the nimble, elegant, eloquent person he clearly thinks he is, surely it should be easy in 3 minutes of live television to show me up, this trollish, clownish, British gay guy. Couldn't he embarrass me? Couldn't he wipe the floor with me in 2 or 3 minutes of live television? I mean, that would be a feather in his cap.
When you were going to go on there, was it going to be pre-recorded or live?
I think they were going to do a segment. I think I probably agreed to pre-record because it's the only thing they do there because they're too cowardly to have conservatives on live. And then they pushed it off and then they cancelled. Another show on the same network pushed it off and then cancelled. Another network pushed it off, cancelled. the guy that you have, what's his name, Kurt Stefanovic, whatever.
Carl Stefanovic.
Carl
yes,
Stefanovic.
yes.
Excuse me, he sounds very good.
I try to stay with the only journalists I know over here. You two.
So hang on, Carl's a friend of mine, but I agree. He's a newsman at heart on the Today Show.
Yeah.
Why do you think they cancelled?
Well, they said to me, we don't want to do it until Carl does it. And then mysteriously, as I'm getting on the
self-proclaimed internet troll, Milo Yiannopoulos.
Milo's here on tour. If you want to see him live, head to milolive.com.au. Lots of tickets sold. A lot of people want to see what he has to say.
Unless you're in Adelaide, in which case we're sold out, or you only want to come on a particular date in Sydney and we're sold out. Melbourne, one of the shows is sold out. But there are still some limited.
left.
We are trying to squeeze in extra seats to all the venues so we can accommodate everybody, which is a nice position to be in.
You should sell some standing room only tickets if you want. Just full it up.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Just have people crammed up to the stage like a pop concert.
So you can do
finally get the recognition I deserve.
So in your shows, you do take questions from the audience, which we're going to do this morning. So
Lovely.
people have called through.
I'm happy.
Eamon,
Now, everyone, just before I put any callers on, try and keep, if you got a temper, try and keep it under control.
Are you talking to me or them?
Both of you. You and
No,
me.
you keep yours under control.
I don't have a temper. I'm a happy person. You can be happy when you're right about everything. It's very easy to be happy.
Eamon, you're on with Milo. Hi, welcome.
Hey, Cole. How are Jackie? How you going?
Yeah, good. What do you want to say, buddy?
I just want to say that this Milo Willow bloke is off his head. He doesn't know not one thing about Islam, and he wants to sit there and say all that crap. Mate, you got enough. Bro, you don't know what you're talking about. How is the majority of Muslims, all Muslims, like that? No, we are not. Islam is about peace. It's about love. You're just full of shit, mate.
I have heard the same thing. I have a lot of...
Wait.
Go ahead,
bro,
sir.
How you're saying that men can sleep with men or rape little 9-year-olds? Where did you get that? Were you drunk and dancing with the fairies? Where does it say in the Quran that can happen? Where does it say in Islam that can happen? You tell me. Where does that?
Well, Muhammad did it.
No, he didn't. How do you know? Were you back in them days? How were you back there? No, we did not.
How old was Aisha when he married her? Sir?
You are nothing but a sheep.
How old was Aisha when Muhammad married her?
You are nothing but a sheep trying to brainwash all this. You are a disgrace to society. That's what you are. You're nothing but a sheep, mate. You're a brainwashed sheep. You don't know what you're talking about. You got nothing, mate. You got nothing. You find that now. Open the Quran. You find me where it says we can do that. You find me where it says that we are allowed to kill for no reason, or we follow the... Bro, you don't know what you're talking about. Get your facts right before you open your mouth, you little peasant.
Now, I'd have to agree with I would have to agree with Eamon. We're on.
He wasn't listening to your thing about tempers, was he?
But no, he didn't swear, which is I'm thankful for. But he's right. In the Quran, it is a peaceful religion, and the ones that are extreme,
it isn't.
Are the ones to blame for the extremism.
No, see, there's a principle of abrogation, which is an Islamic, Quranic principle of scholarship, which means that because the Quran is big and self-contradictory, like all long, complicated books, Quranic scholars have come up with a way to reconcile some of the internal contradictions. Because it's supposed to be the final, unalterable, and perfect word of God. If there's something in it that contradicts something else, there must be a reason for that. So what Quranic scholars have come up with is abrogation. It means if you order the Quran according to the chronological order in which the verses were revealed to Muhammad, stuff that came later supersedes stuff that came earlier. Well, unfortunately, the abrogated verses, the verses that have been superseded, are the peace, love, and understanding ones, and the ones that were revealed to him later when he was a warlord are the kill the unbeliever, death to the whatever verses.
So there's two different versions. Is that what you're saying?
No. It's what Islamic scholars have come up with to account for the fact that in some places the Quran talks about peace and forgiveness and mercy, and those tend to be the bits that are plagiarized from the Bible. And elsewhere, other bits of the Quran are more like, kill the unbelievers and all the rest of it. And those bits, according to Islamic scholars, take precedence over the peaceful bits. So even in terms of its own book, of its own holy text, that's not really a correct reading according to Islamic scholars anyway. And of course, Muslims are encouraged to live according to the example laid down by the founder Muhammad, who of course had a wife of whatever is it, 9 years old, but he waited to have sex with until she was 12, I think. Good on him. Your caller is sadly misinformed, it seems, about his own religion.
Julie.
Hi,
is
Julie.
Next. Hi, Julie.
This guy said that he was happy, but does he also know that he's stupid? You are out of control. Even what you said about the thing about on Twitter about the woman being fat and ugly, but who are you? Are you a Calvin Klein model? Who are you, but? Are you the bee's knees? What are you?
So you believe also in fat shaming? You think fat shaming works?
I do. I think it's a moral imperative. I mean, all the studies say it works. You read
This guy. Oh my God!
I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are on that, because
so you see a lot of these sort of left-wing opinion pieces that say, body positivity, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Even JCPenney, these massive retailers, are getting in on this thing about, we should healthy at any size. Well, you're not healthy at any size. I think it's deeply immoral for corporate America and for these, for journalists to be encouraging women to live unhealthy lives. It doesn't make them happy.
Right?
Men too, of course, men too. But it doesn't make them happy. And men being, primarily visual animals this is just a reality of the sexes. It may not be
What do you
fair,
think of me?
but
would you
about
fat
my
shame
weight?
Kyle?
I'm
beautiful.
I look at you and I have butterflies in my eyes.
I understand.
I'm
A lot of people
intoxicated by your by your presence.
Could he do with losing weight, in your opinion?
Of course, but then so could I. I mean, I'm a little. I'm at wedding weight at the moment. But the point is that why lie to people and say that getting to an unhealthy size, which is likely to put them in an early grave, is that really the kind thing to do? No. I mean, superficially, it's nice to say, oh, you're fine, you're beautiful at any size, body positivity and all the rest of it. But it's a lie. It's a lie. I'm not suggesting that everybody should be an anorexic, stick insect like a twig who's going to get snapped during sex.
They're also unhealthy.
But of course they are. But having a normal, healthy lifestyle, that healthy eating and working out and all the rest of it should be what we're promoting. And culture doesn't promote that. With the plus size models, with the with these, and we're not talking, by the way. I know that fashions change. You look at the Venus de Milo, you look at classical statuary. The idea of what the perfect woman looks like has changed over time. Sometimes it's been curvy. Sometimes
they used to
it's been
paint all
skinnier.
these fatties and say they were beautiful.
But within limits. We're not talking about these vast ham planets that we now see celebrated by retailers like JCPenney. What they're doing is encouraging their own customers to die sooner, to get all kinds of obesity-related health complications.
How big are we talking? In your opinion, what's too big, though?
Well, look, the most important thing has obviously got to be your health, but,
Right. So when you see someone that you just think is clearly unhealthy, not just... Because plus size, I don't think, is unhealthy.
Well, it depends what you mean by plus size, but, if you see somebody who's obviously carrying around more weight than could possibly be good for them, culture at the moment says, you're fine, honey, you go for it, you're beautiful at any size, yes, queen. I'm sorry, I would prefer to go to that woman and say, why are you killing yourself? What are you doing? You're making really bad life choices. And we're perfectly happy to tell people when they're making bad life choices in other areas. Why, just because corporate America, which sells us big clothes and sells us fat, salt, sugar, triad-infused food and all the rest of it.
I'm getting hungry thinking about it.
You've got to remember where these messages come from. They come from corporate America, which has a vested interest in you getting fat. They come from, the health business, the vast apparatus of the medical industry in America, the fast food industry.
They want you to be fat.
All these big corporations want you to be fat and unhealthy because it makes them money.
Mel's on the phone.
I want people to be happy.
Mel's
and
desperate.
I want people to be happy and beautiful.
Desperate to get on and talk to you. Mel, you're on with Milo Yiannopoulos.
Oh, you obnoxious piece of cutter. Are you serious? Your whole interview, you have not stopped contradicting yourself. And you know what? People might not see it, and you sit there and you say, oh, I'm honest. People don't say I'm honest on this. Listen, you might be honest, but honesty does not mean you're right. Everything you said is a contradiction.
Well, could you give me an example?
Okay, I'll give you an example. Oh, the club shooting, we're all scared to go out. How many shootings are there in America? Are you serious? One shooting in the club.
You think radical Islam's been responsible for only one shooting?
Radical Islam is not Islam. Get it right. You might read books, but you know nothing.
I would have to agree with her. I would have to agree. Just for having some Muslim friends and... radical Islam to me, Islam is different than just the Muslim faith.
Well, I know we're supposed to say that. I know journalists say it. I know politicians say it. I just don't think it's true. The people that I know in my life who describe themselves as Muslim who are unobjectionable, don't pray, eat pork, drink, gamble. I mean, how good Muslims are they?
But I know a lot of Muslims that do go to mosque and
5 times a day.
People I don't know. I don't know
really
anyone
live
that
in the
does
West.
that.
The people who do that and live in the West blow things up.
Sorry, Mel?
Islam is praying. You're saying radical Islam is praying and not drinking, blah, blah. The guy that did the shooting didn't pray. He drank and he went out all the time. So That's not Islam.
Well, the guy who did the shooting went to a mosque in the north of Orlando. He was radicalized by a preacher who was welcome to that mosque regularly for years, who had previously said that the kind thing to do, the compassionate thing to do, was to murder every homosexual in the United States. He said that was the compassionate thing to do. These are the kinds of preachers that are speaking.
Stop Googling. No, listen, your facts are from Googling, so stop it. Learn. You've got no idea. Everything you said is a contradiction. What did you say? Muhammad, peace be upon him, what did he say? He consummated the marriage at 12. He married Aisha. When did what's it called? When was Mary married to her husband? How long was her husband when Jesus was married?
I think it's very difficult. I think it's very difficult for Muslims very often because the problem is there's a structural problem with Islam, right? The Quran being the final, perfect, and unalterable word of God, combined with the Hadith and the Sunnah, there's not much room for adaptation. Now, Christianity has proven itself remarkably flexible. It's adapted very well to capitalism, for instance. In fact, the rise of capitalism would have been impossible without the Protestant work ethic. Christianity and capitalism have gone hand in hand in the West. Islam, on the other hand, is having a problem adapting to modernity, and you can see that in Muslim communities in the West. These appalling, familial rape gangs in Rotherham in the UK. The extraordinary, the social attitudes of Muslims
Isn't this just some dumb people that are evil inside, that are brainwashed at home by their own society or their own
Well, they're
community.
brainwashed into that belief system. And look...
But that's not everyone. Like, most of my friends are Muslim. And
most of your friends are Muslim?
Most of my friends...
Most of your friends are Muslim?
Correct.
Okay.
But they don't practice. Yeah, we drink, we party,
if they don't
we rage
practice,
around.
then they're not really part of the problem. I'm talking about people who actually believe and who practice. And out of the people who believe and who practice, the people who are not actively committing this stuff are turning a blind eye to it. And you don't have to believe me. Listen to them. Listen to the surveys that are done, for instance, in the UK by Channel 4, which is a left-wing broadcaster, about the social attitudes of Muslims living in Britain. I think it's 50% of them think homosexuality is completely unacceptable. 40% of them want homosexuality against the law. 25% of them believe in polygamy. 20-something% of them want Sharia law, in which, of course, a woman's testimony is worth half that of a man's in certain circumstances in Sharia courts. I mean, these are horrifying.
But we're dealing with thousands of years of belief.
But that's exactly my point. Other religions have proven themselves more adaptable to changing, to the Enlightenment for a start, but also to changing social attitudes. We now don't have the sorts of horrifyingly regressive medieval attitudes to women that much of the Muslim world does. I mean, this is not radical Islam. This is mainstream Muslim society in which women are forced to cover their hair and bodies, and all is visible is a slit. And progressives,
a lot of them want to do it.
A lot
of them want to do it. Some don't. Some don't mind it.
It's laughable. You hear these liberals do this. The USA Today, of all places, USA Today said, the hijab is a symbol of feminism. Give me a break. These women are brainwashed into a religion that subjugates them, and I feel very, very sorry for them, and I hope they break free of it.
Quick change of pace. Matt Lauer today, NBC, the Today Show host in America.
Yes.
Been fired instantly this morning.
Delicious, isn't it?
You did an interview with him, right?
I haven't done Matt Lauer, but it doesn't surprise me about these guys. I've met enough of them to know. I myself, I won't name the guy on air, but you can go to my site, dangerous.com, and I just today wrote a story about my own experiences with this, and it's the subject of my next book.
With someone of notoriety?
Yeah, very, very prominent, influential journalist in London,
yep.
Who sexually harassed me for half a decade, dangling, career promises and money and all the rest of it, whilst trying to get me to do stuff and giving me,
trying to get you to do sexual things?
He tried and failed, and then when eventually I said, this is not going to happen, he spent the next 5 years trying to destroy my career. Classic Weinstein behavior. I mean, my next book is despicable. It's about Hollywood and the media.
Right.
And these sorts of behaviors, very, very powerful, in many cases, highly hypocritical men who will lecture the rest of us, who tell us how we should live, who boss us around, who scold us for sexist language. Meanwhile, they're whipping their bits out in the dressing room and telling young producers to get down on their knees. These people are hypocrites and abusers of the highest order.
Are there a lot more to come, do you think?
Oh, my goodness. Well, we haven't even seen the start of it. The woman, interestingly, and this is a shame, by the way, the woman on male stuff has become sort of politicized, which is a shame, because I don't think this is a political thing. But whenever, there's this sort of sexual assault stuff with women, people start lining up on partisan lines, which I think is stupid and a shame. But that's nothing compared to what's coming with, Hollywood rings of, what child actors are forced to go through. I mean, let's not be any more explicit than that on a daytime show.
It's just the start of it.
It's just the beginning. The whole of Hollywood in 10 years is going to be a smouldering crater. And you know what? They deserve it. And what's happened to
What are we going to watch on television?
Well, HBO's good. But Hollywood, the movie production business is dead and gone. And it's going to take a lot of the media with it. And frankly, they deserve it. I mean, these are the people who've been lecturing the rest of us for decades about how awful people we are because of the words we use. And last February, I got into extraordinary trouble because I used some words people didn't like and spoke incautiously late night about whatever. But what Kevin Spacey, what Weinstein, what Matt Lauer actually did, physically did to women, or did in Spacey's case to much younger men. That you can see people sort of anyway. It's good that left-wing media, BuzzFeed of all places, and you've got to give them props for this, have been leading the charge, eating their own, cannibalizing their own. So, I mean, fair play to them. BuzzFeed comes for me as hard as they come for anybody.
Milo, we've got to wrap it up, but you've got plenty more to say, and he's going to say it on stage. He's going to be live.
I will. You can tell. I was like, so much, the shows are going to go on for hours.
And you talk to the audience just like you took those calls. If you want to see the show, or you want to get into the audience, milolive.com.au is how to do it.
Yeah, thank you for joining us this morning,
Thank you so
Milo.
much for having me. It's been so much fun.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Stand by. More on news coming up. Last calls. You want to talk about anything? The number 131065.
Kyle, Jackie O.
The home of the world's biggest stars. Superstars.
Tomorrow after 7, John Cena. At 7:30, Ruby Rose. Plus after 8, Sophie